I'm assuming so. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bola. I'm the SM. So, good evening, team. I believe we've got Uzo, Janet, Abimbola, Emmanuel, Rita, Tunji on the line. Can you guys just say hi?
Hey, hi, Bola. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So how's your day been?
Good. Thank
Good,
you.
thank you. Rita, do you have you? Our QA. So we should have Rita and Tunji. Okay, so we're going to start with the refinement. Hopefully, you guys will respond to me. And we're just going to have a look at...
I'm here, Bola.
Okay, fantastic. That's fine. So we're going to look, we know that the ones that are improved, they're fine. So we're going to start off with the BMA done ones just to see if there's anything in there in regards to refinement. So Jeanette, can I get you to have a look at these stories? Is it this one? No, not this one.
The approved ones.
The approved ones.
All yes, right. Please.
Thank you, Janet. Let's get the approved ones on. Okay, so we're going to start with the header menu, yeah? So normally, right. Just for everyone's sake, we'll just have a look at what's in the approved column to refine them, anything needs to be changed, and then afterwards we'll go and do the estimation on the estimate board. But yeah, when you're ready, Janet.
Yeah, so the header menu enhancements. As a user on ReTycon website, I want to be able to navigate to the landing page of the website so I can view the header. Given I'm the user of ReTycon websites, when I navigate to the landing page, then I must see the header. The following menu should be on the header. ReTycon logo should be on the top left corner of the header. Home menu should start on the right side of the header. About should be next to the home menu. Services should be next to about. Clients should be next to services. Get in touch button should be at the top right corner of the header, and it must be highlighted and bold. All menus on the header must be clickable. About services, clients, about services client buttons on the header must change color to light pink when over on, and the lists of items attached to the menu must be displayed. So attached is the wireframe. If there's any question, please, I'm available to answer.
Thank you, Janet. So our QAs, our developers, Abimbola, Emmanuel, Rita, any questions about this?
Hello, Bola.
Hello.
Tunji is on the line. Good evening, team. Based on the story and the AC, I'm asking about testing perspective. You said view, and then within the AC, it should be clickable. So when it's clickable, are we just testing it clickable? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Tunji. Jenna, are you able to answer?
Yeah, it's just for you to be sure that all the menus should be clickable, but users should be able to view them. When you click it, it should redirect to another page, but then it's just for us to ensure that they are clickable. So we are not expecting to see anything in the page that you will be redirected to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Tunji. Any questions from our developers?
Yeah, I answer. To be honest,
Emmanuel, thank you.
Yeah, hello, good evening, Emmanuel speaking. Sorry, yeah. To be honest, it's quite straightforward and well organized. So from me, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, our developer. Okay, if there isn't anything on this one, let's go to the next one. And I just want to remind everybody, I have sent you the link for the estimate board. So when we're ready to that, if you can please make sure you're on there and you've signed on with your account, just in case. Thank you,
Sorry,
Jeanette.
I have a question.
Yes, who's that, please?
This is Adeze. I don't really understand. I'm so sorry. I just got home now and had to come on. So I'm lost. I don't know what's happening here.
So we're just doing, you had your session yesterday about sprint ceremonies. So we're doing a role play of the sprint ceremony so you can see them happening live in action.
Okay. So what are we supposed to do on this page?
At the moment, nothing. You're just watching us go through the sprint ceremonies.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. But if anyone has questions, please just pop them in the chat and stuff so we'll answer them at the end, just so we don't stop the flow. Thank you. Hi, Jeanette. Can we read this one?
Yes, please. So get in touch page. As a user on ReTicon website, I want to click on get in touch button on either of the header or the footer so that I can contact the company. Given that I'm a user on ReTicon website, when I click on get in touch button on the header or the footer, and a page opens to send a message, and I must see the company's contact details, then I am able to contact the company. Additional information, the page should have 3 fields on the right. The first field should be for name. The second field should be for valid email address. The third field should be to enter message, which is maximum of 1,000 words. The third field should be bigger than the other 2 to accommodate longer message. A submit button should be under the 3 fields. The page should have contact address on the left and contact phone numbers under the address. Can you scroll up, please?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Under the phone numbers should be opening hours for contacts. Attached is the wireframe.
Okay, thank you, Jeanette. Any questions from the developers? So that's our QAs and the developer.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is Rita, the QA.
Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome. Can you scroll down a bit?
Scroll down, yeah.
Where you have the scenario.
The scenario, okay.
So you said given
This bit or further up?
So you said either the acceptance criteria, yeah, that's fine. You said either the header or the footer. So and on the wireframe you have it at the top, which is the header. So can you just kind of adjust?
Scroll up.
Scroll up to see the wireframe, yeah?
To see the wireframe, yeah. Let's see the bottom of it, please.
No problem.
So do you have another one on the bottom? No.
No.
So essentially is on the top. So can we just modify that acceptance criteria and let it be on the top rather than saying either on the footer or on the header? So it should just be
that will be adjusted.
And
that'll be done.
Okay. Secondly, I don't know, are you providing that's the words, the 1,000 words for us, the QA, and so you said maximum. Does that mean it can be less than 1,000?
Yes, it can be less than 1,000, and we are not supposed to put anything in there. It's just for the user to be able to type in their wordings. So
okay,
we are not meant to put anything in there. It's just for them, for that space to accommodate nothing more than 1,000 words.
Okay, the test speed is for the users. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
So the wireframe will be adjusted accordingly.
Okay. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you. And Janet, you'll get this done for our sprint planning, yeah? In time for our sprint planning.
I'll get it done.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you for that, Rita. Anything else from our developers at all? Abimbola, Emmanuel, are we okay with the
Yes.
story?
Yes. From the story, it has something to do with the contact address and it's not there. So we'll need to know the address that should be put there because we already have the label to say that it's contact address. So we want to know the address. Also, we need the phone number and also the opening hours contact is not in the acceptance criteria. If
That will be
can
provided.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Abimbola. So you get the address and the details that they need in order to develop this one.
Yeah, I'll get everything. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Janet, let's go on to let's refine the last one. And then hopefully those changes will be made for our next print planning. So we've got homepage banner enhancement. When you're ready, Janet.
Okay. As a user on Retycon website, I want to be able to navigate to the landing page of the website so that I can view the home page banner. As a user on Retycon website, so acceptance criteria is given I'm a user of Retycon website. When I navigate to the landing page, then I must see the home page banner. The first section of the home page banner must have sliding pictures representing the company. The picture must be a minimum of 5 and should be professional in an office settings. The picture should be in slider mode. The wireframe is attached.
Thank you, Jeanette. Let me scroll down so we can see the wireframe. All right, over to you, QAs and developers. Any questions? Anything needs to be added or improved on this user story?
This is Emmanuel Bolak.
Hi, Emmanuel.
This something. Could you please kindly expand, if you could expand it rather than scrolling? I think that will make life easier so we can relate.
Oh, this one, yeah?
Yeah, so we can relate the story with the...
Is that better?
Just a little bit. Thank you.
No problem. Very good. Do you have any questions or anything to be?
Yes, so as a QA, I have a question. So for the slides, will they be having any text on the pictures, or it will just be strictly pictures?
It's just strictly pictures.
Okay.
From me as a developer, I just want to understand when you say banner and pictures. Yeah, I know that we are talking about the banner on the landing page and the images. You've not provided the images that will be on the landing page. So if that can be attached. And also, I just want to understand when you say professional pictures in an office setting, and I know that these images are coming from the BA, or is it coming from the developer?
Well, the expectation was that the developer would get the pictures for us, and it has to be a professional office setting, like images of people in an office environment. But if the developers are not able to provide it, then the BAs will supply the pictures.
Wimbola, is that okay? Are you all right to get the pictures?
Yeah, I'll prefer you put images instead of pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Thank you.
So Janet, you just change the word in here, yeah?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Janet.
Okay, just a quick one from me as well. So for the banner mentioned, does the banner have a specific picture? I'm sorry, color, or it's just going to be plain?
The color, it has colors, so I'll modify that. I'll modify the story and impute the color of the pictures.
Okay.
The colors we want, yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. Are we all good? So that's our refinement done. So just to clarify, Jeanette, for our next meeting, you're going to make sure the changes that have been brought up by the developers and the QAs are made, so that when we do our sprint planning, we can see those changes as well as be able to estimate that.
I've started working on it immediately, so
Amazing.
I'm on it.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Jeanette. All right, guys, thank you, guys. I'll see you next when we do our sprint planning, okay?
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right,
Thank
see you
you.
in a bit. Bye-bye.
Thank
Can
you.
we get this recording?
We haven't finished.
Oh, okay.
Please be patient with us, okay? So normally within a 2-week sprint, you might have refinement 1 or 2 times, but we're condensing this all within the time. So what would have happened? This would have happened maybe before our sprint planning. And as a Scrum Master, I would send out this link. So I'm about to go onto the estimate board. So on here would be the estimation. Just bear with me a second because there's a lot here. I need to remember which one it is. So I will send, yeah?
Allow me to hand this up.
Okay, I can't see any. Hi, allow me.
I'm trying to find my own mute button. All right, so I was just going to do a little voiceover for them so they can have brief understanding. So you see the first ceremony they did. Now, officially, they had not started sprint. That's why they did the refinement. And you remember what Bola just said now, you could refine it as much as you can within the sprint, but don't overdo so that you don't just keep calling your team into an unnecessary ad hoc meeting, right? Remember, the refinement is the one that we said you're doing it ahead for a future sprint. So that's why they are doing it first, because they haven't started the sprint. So the refinement is, and I told you, let's be using the literal meaning, because the literal meaning really helps us a lot. They're just trying to refine the story. We also call it backlog grooming. So they are trying to make sure that everything they want to work on from the product backlog to get ready for the sprint backlog when they start sprint is what they are just trying to make sure they are ready. For example, you see the dev asking for the images, who is going to give the images. It could even be the sponsor that will provide the images. It could be the developers that will give access to say, okay, you know what, just with your expertise, get us good enough images for this, anything at all. So the whole idea is just to get ready for the future sprint. So that's what they just played out for you. Now you see questions throwing up, going back, and you see there are some that they're correcting immediately. Remember when the BA was to make amendments from calling it pictures to images, she did it right away. You don't go and sit down and say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it immediately, because the team needs to keep moving as they're going. Don't pen things that are quickly doable and all that. So I hope what we spoke about refinement is coming to you now. So what they want to do is on their product backlog, remember the product backlog, all the yada yadas that they think they want to do, right? They are picking few things which they have picked that they want to do in the coming sprint. So they are just trying to make sure that it's refined enough for them to start the sprint. That's the idea of what they just did now. So now they will now transition into starting sprint. So remember, the first ceremony is the sprint planning, where they plan for the next sprint, for that sprint rather, 2-week sprint. And I also told you that it could be 1 week, it could be 4 weeks, but for this one, we're using 2-week sprint. So they are planning now. Once Bola comes on now, they are doing the next planning for the next 2 weeks. So all the things they want to take in and all, but they are just trying to combine, the refinement a bit with the sprint planning because of time. That's the only one they'll combine. The others, they'll do it as standalone. So I don't want to take too much time, but I hope it drives home the point a bit for you when it comes to refinement. They're just refining, chewing the story. They've had it there, the BAs have written it there, and then the devs, they're asking questions. Even the tester is asking questions to be sure that it will be testable for them. Remember the invest criteria we spoke about yesterday? So everybody is almost like fighting for their jacket. Is it small enough to be done during the course of the sprint? The tester is asking. So all these things are playing in their head. But because you've not started practicing it, you might not be able to absorb it as much. But please listen to this video over and over again. We'll definitely share the video at the end of the day so you can grab it. So Bola, over to you. Thank you. When we finish the next ceremony, I'll do a bit of voiceover again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our sprint planning. So our last meeting, we had a refinement, so hopefully the changes to those PBIs have been made. Jenna, I wanted to ask, I don't know, do you know the priority in terms of what the PO wants us to focus on, or do I need to ask the PO as to which one is the top priority for work this sprint? Guys, can you hear
Sorry,
me?
yeah, I can hear you. The
Okay.
priority is the header.
The header, okay.
The header menu is the priority, followed by the home page banner, and get in touch should be the last one, please.
All right, excellent. Thank you, guys. So we're going to start off with the header menu. I can see we have everybody on the board, so thank you. So just because I want of time and it being quick, normally we would read through everything again, but we've read it just a moment ago. So I'm just going to ask the team to have a look at the stories. Is there any questions you have or anything else that still needs clarification? But my hope is the changes have been made. And then if there are no questions, if you're on the board, please, I would like you to vote. So we're using the Fibonacci scale, so you can see the different numbers for you to estimate what you think the effort will be in order to, number one, obviously the developers to develop this PBI, and in testing purposes, how much you think the effort will be for testing. So I can see we've got one vote so far. So thank you. I believe that's Abimbola. No, this is Adetunji. Tunji, thank you for your vote. So I'm just waiting for Emmanuel, developer, Abimbola, developer, and Rita. Thank you. So I think that is everybody. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to reveal their votes. Okay, so let me start with you, Tunji. Tunji, why have you given it a 1? Please.
Sorry, I'm talking on mute. I didn't vote 1. I voted 3.
Oh, so who's this one then? Oh, Abimbola. Okay.
No, she's developer.
Abimbola. Well, sorry, I'm going. Since you're unmuted, do you want to tell me why you voted 3?
Yeah, because I don't have much on it, just to view, then check if the click is the menus on the header is clickable. That's it. That's why I voted 3.
Okay, thank you very much. Abimbola, you've said 1.
Yeah, I voted 1 because it won't take much effort from me, just a menu that is clickable and not much on the pages yet. So yeah, that's the effort it will take me.
It will take you, okay. I'll just hear from Emmanuel and Rita, and then we can decide as a team if people are happy to go down or to go up. So Emmanuel, you also a developer, you've said 3.
Oh yeah, thank you. So I'm quite generous. That's why I picked 3, to be fair, due to the fact that I'm gonna arrange those menus, and then also going to ensure that they are all clickable. So just to make sure I'm watching my back, that's why I picked that. So thank you.
All right, thank you. And Rita, why have you put a 2?
Yeah, I've put 2 because I think we are just doing on a manual testing on it. However, even though we have to check for the functionality if it's clickable, we are just carrying out manual testing. So that was why I gave it 2, because we are just checking for the visibilities of the menu header. So, but I don't mind if I did Tunji want to stick to 3, I can put my up to 3 or whichever way.
Yeah, I'm happy to come to your point.
Okay.
So you're happy to bring it down to a 2, the effort?
Yeah.
Okay. And Abimbola and Emmanuel, are you guys okay for it to be a 2?
Yes.
For me, I'm quite raising my thumb for 3, to be honest, because to be able to make sure everything is for that. So I'm still stick to my 3, please.
You still want to stick to your 3. Okay. Is there, what's one of the main reasons that you want to stick to a 3? Is there any, maybe some support that you might need from Abimbola or?
Yeah, because it's my first time doing this part, so reading the story and then arranging them will kind of require more effort, and then also will be more tapping on Abimbola's shoulder to make sure everything is, in line with, and then also reaching out to the BA to make sure everything is in line as well.
Okay, so you want to stick to that 3. Okay, That's fine. Abibola, and I know obviously Tunji said 3 before. Rita and Abibola, are you guys all right to maybe err on cautious side and estimate it as a 3?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Abibola. Rita? Because I know initially you said that you were happy to go with Tunji's 3.
Yeah, so they are the developers, but then we are just testing it. So I mean, they may require more effort compared to the QAs, but yeah, if we have to, that's fine.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, guys. So we'll estimate this one as a 3. So I'm just clicking it here, and excellent. So we can see here that the header menu enhancement has been estimated as 3. Thank you. Let's now go to the homepage banner. You guys can go to that story or that estimate. Because I said we've read through it, unless if there's anything else that you still have in regards to this particular one or questions, or if you're happy with that, if you can go to that and start estimating in terms of how much effort you think it will be required to develop and to test. Amazing. Thank you, guys. I think that's everyone that has voted. Let's reveal your estimation. Okay, so we have our developer, Mbola. Can you explain your 1, please?
Yeah, that would be the effort it will take me to do the banner, but I'm happy to go with the complexity of if anybody complains of the complexity, I'm happy to take their votes. Yeah, but that will be the effort that it will take me.
And also that's because you're an experienced developer, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. Okay, thank you very much, Abimbola. Tunji, your 3 that you've estimated.
Yeah, because for me, I think I have to, because at the end of the day, I'll still do, though it's still manual, but I'll start to write my feature file, prepare my automation. So I have to calculate the effort so that it will not take much when I'm going to start the automation. But I'm happy to come to any point. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Tunji. I'll come back to you about that, being happy to move. So let's go to Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. You said 5. Can we explain your 5?
Yeah, thanks. Abimbola is my manager, so you'll be so definitely, yeah, she will definitely go for the lowest. But yeah, I'm happy to still remain on my 5. Reason being the fact that so the sizes are mentioned, but the in terms of the kilobyte or byte or gigabyte or whatever for the pictures are not really specified. So while trying to upload it might really take a little bit of time to upload them. So that might take a little bit of a drag, which I'll also want to consider while I'm taking my effort into place. So that's why I had to pick that 5, if that's okay.
That's fine, no problem. Thank you, Manuel. We'll come back to you in a second as well. Rita, do you want to explain?
Yeah, the reason why I've given 2 is I voted 2 rather is because from the acceptance criteria we are obviously just viewing, and which would not require too much effort. But if I have to go with us starting with our automation, thereby preparing our scripts, then I don't mind going for 3. But in terms of just manual, it's just to view the slides and the images on the slides. So yeah, if Adetunji is sticking to 3, then I don't mind going for 3.
Going for 3. Okay, amazing. Thank you. So Emmanuel, so most people have got 1, 2, and 3. I just wanted to remind you in terms of the Fibonacci scale, you know how it goes up. It's not just saying 1 step up, it's like double the effort and double difficulty in regards to number 3. So I don't know if you remember the training that we did, that when it's a 3, we're saying that you have moderate uncertainty and some risk, but still something that you can handle. Whereas 5, you're making it saying above average, and you really need to focus. So do you really feel that this one is up to a 5?
Yeah, I'm happy to come down to 3, to be honest. Yeah.
Yes, so something that you can handle, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So Abimbola, are you okay to do a 3 for this one?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. We're happy to go with 3. And if you look at the average, it does kind of average up higher, so we can put it as a 3. So thank you, guys. So our last one for our sprint planning, and we'll go on to put our sprint goal and look at our sprint board. So this one is our get in touch page. So I believe Janet has made the changes to this. So if we can go to this one and estimate this. Okay, thank you. So we have, let's reveal. Okay, so we've got 1, 5, 2, and 2. Abimbola, can you explain your 1? Thank you.
Yeah, my vote tonight is just based on experience and the effort it will take me to do this page, because it's a page that already have a form prepared. I just need to insert put the form on the page and do the necessary thing. So it won't take me much effort. So that's why I put 1. But I'm happy to take any numbers. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Abimbola. Tunji, you're 5. Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, the ticket is somehow the logic behind it, because we'll be looking into the message, the feed. It's a maximum of 1,000. Then the contact. So I have to positive and the negative side of it. So that's why I put 5. Then with the automation, because no way about it, I have to automate it. So that's why I just say the effort that it's going to take me testing that is 5.
So yeah, obviously with automation, it's more complex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tunji. Emmanuel?
Yeah, it's quite easy work to do. I've done that before with my manager, so it's quick to do. So thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. And Rita?
Yeah, if I'm to consider automating that PBI, then definitely I'll have to go for a higher number. But I don't know if I would have stick with 3. But if I have to go with Adetunji, then it's fine. Well, yeah, if I was to go higher, it would have been 3.
Would have been 3.
I haven't considered that. It's fine. I'll go with what Adetunji has. So.
Okay, thank you. So you're saying 5 if you consider automation.
Yeah.
Okay. So our developers, are we, because obviously we need to consider the automation side of it in relation to the QAs. Are you happy to go with 5 or?
Yeah, I'm happy from my end, Iman.
Yeah.
Bimbola, happy to go with 5?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, so we're now just going to go on to our, let's go back to the board. What am I doing? Okay, excellent. So we can see we have these 3 committed. No, this is the wrong thing. What's happened here? Apologies, let me get the right link. Okay, so we're going to go on to the sprint board because I want to put our sprint goal in action. So if we can start thinking about what our sprint goal will be, and I also will share some ideas for that. Give me a second, sorry, I have a few. Okay, just checking, I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I? Sharing the right one, yes, okay. Okay, so let's go on to our sprint board. Any suggestions or ideas for the sprint goal? Or Jeanette, have you had something given from the PO?
No, I haven't got any information yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so we've got sprint 6. We need to add those to it. All right, so before we do our sprint goal, guys, I haven't forgotten. I'm just trying to navigate this. So let's do our sprint goal. So obviously we're focusing on, let me make sure we're in the correct sprint. We need to do sprint 7. So let me just add this sprint 7. That's fine. All right. Any suggestions for sprint goal? Hi guys, you still with me? Team ABC, are we there? Any ideas for sprint goal? So obviously we're looking at the header and the footer and the banner. Are you guys happy to go with enhancement of the header, menu, banner and footer?
I don't think the footer is there.
No footer. Okay, it's true actually. So just enhancement of the header, menu and banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the contact page.
And contact page. Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you, Abimbola. Enhancement of the header, menu, banner, and was the other one contact page, was it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Contact. Okay, excellent. So we'll have that in the tab. I think it's quite self-explanatory. There's nothing else we really need to add for that, is there? Okay, that's fine. I'll save that. And just before we go, so we know that we are done, can I just quickly get everybody's capacity? Emmanuel, can I get your capacity for this sprint, please?
2 hours per day.
2 hours per day. Okay. Sorry, I need to close. Thank you. All right, we'll leave that. So is everybody, I can do this after the call. So is everybody, or has anybody got any time off before I come back to this afterwards?
Yeah, on Friday I won't be available.
Is that Rita, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Rita, that's fine, no problem. I'll make a note of that and I will put that there. And lastly, we'll go back to the board. I'll be happy. We're going to commit these 3, aren't we, to the sprint? Yeah.
Yeah, happy.
Fantastic. Let me make sure we do the header and the venue. So just a reminder, everybody, when you take the stories, please make sure you assign it to yourself, and please do not forget to add your tasks to the sprint board as well. Okay. Thank you very much for your time for sprint planning. Any other questions before we go?
Okay, so you see they've just concluded the sprint planning. I will just do a quick 3-minute voiceover so you can understand just a little bit. But I'm not joking when I said if you don't put your hands on it, you will not have a full understanding, right? So don't be too overwhelmed with all what you've seen. In another 2 or 3 sprints, you'll be speaking half like them. You might not be speaking as smoothly as they're going because they've been doing this for a while. And it drives me to the first explanation I want to explain for tonight. You see that after they read their story, let's assume they reread the story during sprint planning. Bola mentioned that too. They were supposed to reread all those stories before they jump into estimation. But because we just did it in the interest of time, we didn't want to repeat that process, right? So they went into the estimation board. So what that estimation is talking about is just the effort it takes you to do a particular task, right? The effort you need within that 2-week sprint rather, to be able to finish that story, or should I call it a task this time around, for you to conclude it, right? So in that estimation or in that effort, now estimation is different from effort. That's estimation, you use effort to do the estimation, right? So the effort they are saying now, you see where I liked the flow between Emmanuel and Abimbola, where Emmanuel was showing off as a newbie, while Abimbola is an expert on it. So you see that effort. For you to be able to decide the amount of effort you want to put into something, it takes a lot from you. We need your expertise, like just your experience. Let me just put it in a simpler term. Your technical know-how for that particular thing, because sometimes you might be expert, but you might not have technical know-how of just that particular thing you want to do. So it depends. Your expertise, your technical know-how. Bola even mentioned some of it: uncertainty, risk. There are lots of things you can meet. Repetitiveness. Even if I'm almost expert in something, if I'm doing it like every day, I can do it in 2 minutes. And even Abimbola, that is an expert, might use 5 minutes to do it, right? So repetitiveness of that particular thing also helps. And then complexity of that thing you're doing, because sometimes I might really know something, but it might be complex. Like it takes a longer time. I know what I'm doing. I'm very clear as to what I'm doing, but just that particular work I'm doing is a bit complex. So all these things put together decides the effort you're going to use to do that thing. So it's that effort that they've gone to the estimation board to carry out. Now, the part that will now confuse you is how come they are choosing the 1, 2, 3. That's now a style of use of calculating the effort. We call it Fibonacci series, right? The Fibonacci series, if you look at the numbering, you see it's not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's a series, just like when we say sequence, linear, this one. This is a particular type of series. I don't know the originator, but it goes 0 plus 1, 1. If let's just keep 0 to make it easier. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 2, that's you take a step back to what you added. So 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 5, 13. 13 plus 5, 21. Yada, 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 like that, right? But you cannot put a story and tell me the story is 86 story effort or something. Or that means the story is too big. It brings me back to the invest criteria I spoke about yesterday. The story must be small enough and testable within that 2-week sprint. So you see that they are picking low numbers, not because they want to pick low numbers, but because they've broken down the story for them to be able to pick those low numbers. They've looked at the effort. Now, inside that effort, there's something I didn't mention to avoid confusion, which is time. You see, time, people mistaking time for effort, but time is not effort, but there's a time element in that effort too. The period of time is going to take you to do it. And also the complexity of that story, right? So all this, if we put it together, please can you mute yourself, please, Moses? Thank you. So all this put together is what determines the effort they pick. I don't want us to make today's lecture about effort. Don't get too confused. But if you also notice in that series, you not see anybody putting 4, you not see anybody putting 7, because it's not part of the series. So you need to master the series a little bit. You don't even need any special mastering. Like I said, it's 1 + 2, 3, 3 + 2, 5, 5 + 3, 8. There are some numbers you just know immediately that is off. And most times, most organizations put a cap on it. Like my organization, there's a cap on 20, right? You can't go more than 20. But most average organizations do cap it at 8, some 13, some even 5. But mostly what I hear the most is they cap it at 8. Anything bigger than 8, you need to break that story further so it can come down back. So Moses, please mute yourself. Moses, please mute yourself. Please, can somebody mute Moses for me? Thank you. Okay. So just to be fast so that they can continue, because someone is going on vacation right now. Yeah. Inside that team that you're looking at, I'm sure. But just to drive it home for you, don't be too confused. It's just a sequence. Then by the time you're doing it, your mentors and buddies will handhold you and actually show you the process. Now, the other few things I want to talk about is, you see the questions they're asking. Why did you pick this particular vote? Why did you hear Emmanuel saying, he's just doing it for the first time? You cannot compare somebody that's just doing something now for the first time to somebody that's done it. So those things determine. Then if you see the role they played, you heard the Scrum Master facilitating, doing a fantastic job. Bola was fantastic, coordinating a team and everything. I don't need to go too far to see that team is already self-developed to an extent. Even in the absence of Bola now, as I'm looking at it, one of the dev guys can pick up and do the same process. So that's how you should build your team, which is all the things we spoke about yesterday. But right now, you're seeing the full role of the SM. For those that were thinking, what's the role of the SM yesterday? This is what the SM does. She's coordinating. You see that she's not voting. But she's making sure this meeting happens. She's facilitating, ensuring organization in that meeting, and ensuring they have something of value at the end of the day. The meeting is not a redundant type or something that is not adding value to the team. So it was a quick one, smooth and everything. So that's that. You saw the PO was quiet all through because the PO did not really have any much contribution. If they really needed the PO's contribution, they would have referred to the PO to ask the PO a question. But the PO has been a bit on the forefront during refinement. That's how it really works, because the PO are the ones staying there. But you saw the PO too is supposed to do a bit of priority and all that, but she has already had the discussions with the PA. So there's no need for the PO talking too much, because they would have done their own sync ad hoc meeting. That's that. You saw the dev, they were asking questions to be sure it's things they can carry out. They were speaking, even the testers were very fantastic. You saw where Rita is saying, she's already, in her capacity, for example, she's already saying I'll not be available on Friday. So if somebody is not going to be available for one day, right, the capacity should show that that person is not going to be available. If I'm going to be available for 10 days of the sprint and somebody else is available for 7 days, you can't give us about the same kind of work to do, right? You need to weigh those options. Those are all the things you saw them play out now. But you might not have a full grasp of it until you start doing it yourself. You saw them talking about committing the things into sprint. So when they agreed on what they wanted to do, they decided to commit it into sprint. They've agreed. So remember, it's product backlog. Then it has come to sprint backlog with what they are doing during the sprint planning. Remember sprint goal, right? And then the moment she changed that thing to show sprint 7, right, and committed all those stories to sprints, then it becomes your sprint backlog officially, right? Because that's what they are working on. And that sprint goal for the next 2 weeks, that's what they'll be working on. Then when they are done in that 2 weeks, that item will now become an increment, something usable, something of value to the customer. We explained all this yesterday. So it's just driving home the point. Then you saw them talk about their capacity, amount of time they need to work on that daily. Now, in a real office setting, it to be 8 hours a day. That's the time we do for work, right? Then some organization will tell you 7.5 hours, removing 30 minutes for break. Remember, depends on what works for your organization. So most people will say 7.5, 8. But for the cost of this internship, because you're just going to be using your evening hours, it might be 2 hours, it might be 4 hours, depending. But I'm just giving you clarity between the two, so you know what to go and say in an interview. You won't go to an interview and say your capacity a day is 2 in case they ask you something relating to capacity. No, your capacity is your full day's work, right? So your full day's work is usually 8 hours a day, plus or minus your your break time. Then another thing that might confuse you, which is the last point I'll give before, because I really need them to finish off, right? They are almost finishing up the main ceremonies. So Moji is going to drive home all those columns you saw, which is Oh, that's what's even showing on the screen now. You can see all this approved, committed, in dev. I'm sure people will be like, what is going on, right? In simple words, in development done. In quality assurance or software testing working, they're the ones working at that time. When the software tester is done, they say done. When the BAs were working, if you see it at the start, you see B in BA like that. The one that is new is the product backlog we're talking about. That's the list that has all the junks they wanted to do, right? I'm not using the correct word, calling it junks, but I just want to use it to drive home the point for you, right? So that product backlog item is where they selected from during the refinement, and the BA started working on it to refine it properly and everything until they got an approval. So they put it in the approved column. Then they came for this sprint planning meeting now to discuss the things under approved column to now commit it to sprint. So that's that whole journey. So don't worry too much about all these titles, because I know some people will have a lot of questions on this. When we're doing the Azure board setup on Friday, we will now take you through all these columns. You have more understanding of what each of them is talking about and all that. So thank you. And if you also, last thing, if you also notice, when she was doing the capacity, she did not call the BA, she did not call the PO, she did not, because they are not working on that particular task. The people working on that task is the dev and the testers. So they are the ones we need to know their capacity for the 2-week sprint, right? Really, in the ideal setting too, you should have an idea of, your BA is not going to be around, who is going to fit in, is anybody going to, or has she prepared stories for the next couple of sprints ahead, like that. You need to know that a bit, but officially on that board, you just need to know that of the dev and the tester. So I guess that's about it, from what they showcased a bit for us. Then another thing that I also remembered is when they were voting, you also saw that the BA did not vote because the BA is not working. The BA has done their own work this sprint planning. And during the sprint planning, if there was any amendment, remember they are the ones interpreting what the PO has gotten from the stakeholders to the team. So if there was any amendment, they can make the quick amendment, but they are not going to do that actual development work, because the guys that will do the development work are the dev guys themselves and the testers, amongst, or depending on your team. Remember, I told you it might be UX designers, it might be engineers, like that. So thank you so much. All right. Yeah. Bola, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Allow me. So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our daily stand-up. Could I please have what you did yesterday, what you're going to do today, and if you have any impediments. So I will start off with our developers. So I'm on the main board. I can see, thank you guys for moving it into in dev and assign it to yourself. So I'm just going to go to the sprint board as well, just to make sure that we have everything going on. Excellent. So I'll start with Emmanuel, please. Can I know what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, and if there's any impediments?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. So yesterday I started putting in tasks you worked on for each of the stories, and I've had back and forth with my manager to ensure I'm in line with what is to be done. So at the moment, no blocker, and I'm fine. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Good morning, Abimbola. Can I have your updates, please?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, what I did yesterday was to support Emmanuel in doing the get in touch. So the parts that are meant to do, I've finished it. So I've moved my task to done. So I only need Emmanuel to just wrap up the remaining part of the development. And also I'm also supporting Emmanuel on the 2 other stories as well. So that is me, no blocker.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Abimbola. Now to our QAs. Rita, could I get some updates from you, please?
Sorry, I was speaking on. Yeah, I'm just trying to move my tasks now because I'm waiting for the dev to finish and to get in touch. But I will start moving my tasks now.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any impediments at all?
No, none for now.
Okay,
I can see, yeah, the dev is done on the get in touch, so I'll start working on that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Tunji, what you've been working on, please? Is there any impediments?
Yeah, I'm working on either menu. Yeah, so there's no impediment. So I'm waiting for my colleague Rita to review my test cases. So after she's done with that, I will start my testing on it, automation testing. So there is no impediment. So today, after the review, I will start testing. Thank you. That's me.
Amazing. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for those quick updates. If there is any other issues that's going to take longer than the 15 minutes time box, I'm happy to go into a parking lot to discuss anything, or are we okay? Are we all good, team?
Yep. From me. Yep.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, amazing. So again, guys can still contact me with any other issues throughout the day, but I will see you tomorrow for our daily stand-up. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Right.
Thank you so much. This one will be a very fast one. Now, you have seen how they did the stand-up, right? This happens between day 2 to day 9 of that 2-week sprint. Remember, day 1 was when they did the sprint planning. Day -5, right? Minus 5 was when they did the refinement. They did the sprint planning on day 1. So between day 2 and 9, every day they'll be doing this stand-up. Remember, we spoke about that yesterday. And you see that it's just a touch point. They are not here to tell you when their grandmother died. They just came and gave us touch points exactly of what they did. You saw they all spoke within a minute. It's not like they're speaking. Some people forget themselves and they're talking 6 minutes. That's BS for when it comes to sprint planning and all. Daily stand-up. Because you're wasting too much time, right? You just need that touch point. And you also heard Bola's statement at the end for us to take things to the parking lot if they want to discuss further. So that's how it should be. It's just a touch base for the team to know what everybody's doing, pay accountability, everybody knows, just to think within the team. Now you see how they also left the main board this time around to come to the sprint board to have the discussion because the sprint have started. So each of these stories has been and taxes have been created on those stories. Because on one story, more than one person will be working on it, right? Because one person needs to develop it, another person needs to probably review it, another person needs to test it, another person might even need to review that testing also. Then at the end, there'll still be a UAT at the end too. So different people might need to create different tasks for that particular story. That's why they went to this board that you're showing now to discuss what and what. And you see, they've moved things. The ones that they've done, they've moved it here. And the main thing on the in-dev, if a developer was one that moved those things to done, they will also go there to move it. It depends on your board. If it was a Jira board, I think you just move it at once, it's fine. But if you also create tags, then you need to still move the tags. But on Azure board, you're not going to be doing it. Like you do a separate board to move the tags. You use a separate board to move the stories themselves. So you saw how it just quickly played out. Then last thing I want to speak about is the high level of collaboration within the team. Now, if you heard Tunji, when he finished doing his test case, he wants to review with his colleague. Remember, I told you in Scrum, we're all equal, but you should respect yourself fully. He respectfully said that Rita will have to review the test case for him to move forward like that. So they are working hand in hand, because even as you're working as a team within your role, especially the dev guys, you also need to really, really collaborate to move things forward. You also heard that Bimbola at the start when she was giving, her own updates. She said she worked with Emmanuel just to help Emmanuel. I remember during our sprint planning, we realized Emmanuel is a newbie. So a mentor or a more senior team lead is and holding him. If Abimbola does this consecutively for like 10 sprints, I can tell you Emmanuel will be able to fly. Those kind of things, they're all happening. I'm just trying to open your eyes to see all the conversations they had in this short 2, 3, 5 minutes, right? And I also remember I spoke that though it's supposed to be a 15-minute meeting, but if you finish in 9 minutes, 10 minutes, it's okay to close down the call rather than just keeping people and just being yada yada yada. Then you also saw like expressions of saying hello everyone, da 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 da, and you also saw her saying bye to everyone. Everybody said bye like that. So you need to get your team speaking. You need to, and the more they realize you don't waste their time, the more they're happy to jump on the call. Pum pum, say what you want to say, out of the way, right? Thank you. Next event, please.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? How's your day been? Emmanuel, Abimbola, Rita,
Good
Tunji.
afternoon, Bola.
Good
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
Afternoon.
everyone.
So
Yeah,
today, well done for all the hard work in this sprint. We're going to be inviting our PO for our sprint review. So I will share the screen, and developers, if you can just kind of direct me on the website in terms of what we want our PO to review and just give us some feedback on. Uzo, are you on the line with us this afternoon?
Hi, hello. Yes, I am. Hi, guys.
Okay.
How's everyone doing?
Good, and you?
Good, good, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Emmanuel or Abimbola, who's going to direct me on the website? Abimbola, Emmanuel?
Emmanuel.
Okay.
Let's-
All right, boss. Yeah. So, so looking at the website, so that's the banner, which was mentioned, which is where the rate icon is, the banner color, which was provided by the BA, which is the color where we have the headers and the menus, and also, as you know, also we're able to complete the menus, which is the home about all services, clients, and clients, and then the get in touch, which was part of the sprint goal. And then if you look at the get services, we see some arrows down, but that was not what we're actually looking at, but the get in touch pin per se. So if you click on the get in touch, please. So yeah, so thank you so much for doing that. So if you look at the page, you can see that we've been able to follow through the user story and the acceptance criteria, which has been tested by the QA. So this is what we're able to come up with. And so yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Uzo, do you have any questions or any feedback at all?
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This is actually really good. You guys, I can see a lot of hard work that went into this and really appreciate it. With the requirement I gave the team, I can see you've added some additional fields, the telephone field and the select service field. We actually don't mind the telephone field. That's fine. I think it's good to, have that information, but I think if you remove the mandatory requirement from there, so the users can either put their phone numbers or not. We don't really, as long as we have their name and their email, that's fine with us. And then the field for selecting the service, I think we can remove that. I don't think it's necessary here. Again, because it's mandatory, we can take that out, but everything else looks really good. I like how it's turned out. If you can scroll up to the top again, I like the title of the form, but if we could just enhance it a bit, the Q for quote, if we can make that a capital Q, I think it'll kind of go in line with what the rest of the form is. It's just a little enhancement, but if you don't mind doing that, we'd really appreciate it. Other than that, this is really great. Well done, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uzo. Jenna, have you taken down that information so that those can be added in terms of changes that need to be made?
Yes, I've done that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Any other questions or feedback at all from you, Uzo?
Okay, I'm supposed to play the stakeholder. I have a question.
Yes, please, stakeholder.
Okay, so my question is regarding the contact. Is it just a web contact, or are we using other social media platforms for it? Because I want everything as regards to social media for customers to be able to contact us straight away through there. So I also want, even if it's the footer of this page, to have a bit of all our social media handles there. Even if we get only Instagram, X, and WhatsApp, it will be okay, at least for now. Then my second question is towards an improvement that I would like to see on this. I would like to see, please can you scroll up a bit? Yes, I would also like to see that the contact information, it should be something that the customer will just click on and it takes them directly to send the email, like redirects them straight away to send the email. I don't want them to have to come back to this page to just start typing and adding, because that's what I was picturing in my head when I spoke to the product owner earlier. What I was picturing is just a button that will redirect them to that conversation page. Not that we're already seeing the page here. Like if they click on the email, it should already have, the email and just the pop-up box of where you put the 1,000 words or less there. Not that they will start writing their name, email, and phone number again, because I want to believe they've logged in properly for them to get to this stage. I don't want the login to happen here. I want them to be able to do contact us straight away from here. I hope that will not be too much for the team to revert back in the next sprint.
Actually, thank you so much for that. Allow me. We've actually scheduled the social media icons to be included in the upcoming sprint. So that's why you're not seeing it here. I'll definitely be giving those requirements to the team and they should have it ready for the sprint. And then for all the others, thank you for adding clarity to that. I think we can do that. I remember you talking about it in our previous meetings. I think at this point, we're just taking it step by step. So for the next sprint or next upcoming sprint, depending on how much capacity the team will have, by the time we have our next review or two, I think you'll be able to see the increments you just discussed now. So thank you very much for highlighting that as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So far, this has been the show has been very good. I like the show and how you guys just did on this. There's clarity and I like the brightness of the site, which is very good for me, right? The other MVP we discussed about lastly was if we have this on mobile, or do we have only the web now? Have we done anything as regards to mobile?
For the mobile, we want to make sure that we have the desk of the web version done properly before the mobile will be our last few sprints. So we're focusing more on this because once we have this right, then it's easier to transition to the mobile app, so that you probably see that in our later sprints. But at the moment, we want to make sure that the web version is exactly what you want it to be. We have all the requirements on here, and then it will be easy to just replicate it in the mobile.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that clarity. Thank you very, very much. Well done, team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Well done for all the work. And Jeanette, I trust that you will get those changes in a story for us to have a look at in our next sprint. Yeah. Ooh, I'm not sure if Jeanette's still there. Unless I can't hear. All right. Thank you very much for your time, to our stakeholders, our PO and the team. Our next ceremony, next time we'll see you is for our sprint retrospective, so we can review and see how we've done as a team. So thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, team. You guys are doing awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, back to me now. I'm back to voiceover. I'm not my stakeholder. Okay, so you see, I don't need to explain this one. I think this one was very direct. Everybody should have a good grasp of this already. And you saw that what they showcased, they didn't come and show me what they did on the capture alone or what they did on maybe the header or the footer. No. Remember, the stories hovered around homepage banner. They showed us the banner and those images that they spoke about. If you remember them changing a word from images to pictures, so you see the images were sliding as soon as they got on to the website, the header menu enhancement in general. They showed us the menu on top, and lastly, they showed us the get in touch page. They didn't go and show us some other pages I did not request for, right? So that's the whole idea. When you're doing a showcase, you don't need to show the things that are not relevant. You show the relevant things, which is what they did. And lastly, you also saw the high rate of praise that the team was just, giving themselves. But to an extent, the PO almost served a bit as both a PO and a stakeholder on this particular call. So, but you see that we did a bit of praise just to encourage the team. And for me, as the main stakeholder, what I wanted was not exactly what they depicted on the third story. The other two stories were fine by me, but I didn't tell them this is BS. Remember, I spoke about it yesterday, that you don't damn your team. You don't, whether you're a stakeholder or anything, you need to talk to them respectfully. That's the whole idea of Agile, Scrum, and everything, and part of the core values in Scrum, which is respect. So that's the whole idea. But I guess this one was very clear. The review is just to show the work they did within the sprint, which are those three main stories they did. All right, thank you. That's it. Then please, the last ceremony. Before Bola starts the last ceremony, somebody should just unmute and tell me what they have not done so far. Remember, I spoke about the 5 ceremonies. So which one do you think is missing now? Which one have they not done? Anyone unmute? Pleasure me, so I know that you remember this in 24 hours. Anyone who knows?
Retrospective, the review, and the
Correct.
retrospective and refinement.
Turn on, check, go to your door, there's Chinese there. Go to your door. I've requested. Thank you. All right, over to you, Bola. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our sprint retrospective. So before we get to business, guys, we're going to do a quick icebreaker, and I'm going to be testing you guys' knowledge on, I'll make it a little easier. I was going to say just countries, but we can do countries and cities. So I'm going to go through the alphabet, and I want to see how many, for example, if we start with the letter A, how many countries, let's do countries and cities we can name with the letter A. Is that clear, guys? So I'm testing your knowledge of countries and cities. We're going to start with A, and we'll just move on for the next, let's say, about 10 minutes on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Super. Anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Yeah, smarter.
She's smart. To go first is the best idea. Yeah. Okay, let's start. A, go on.
A. Mm-hmm. Angola.
Okay.
Someone pick mine.
Next person.
Albania.
Argentina.
I don't think I've heard from Emmanuel. Next one.
Aba.
Aba is not a country.
That's not a country, guys. It's Emmanuel's turn.
America.
America. It's not called America. It's called United States of America.
Honestly,
that's wrong.
That was a cheat.
That's wrong. What?
Abidjan.
I
think that's what she wants to say. I don't know
what she's saying. Okay, I don't know that country, but yeah.
Abidjan is not a country. It's the capital of a country.
Yeah, capital. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire. All right. Thank you. Okay, let's go to B. Let me start. I'm going to start this time. Bulgaria.
Birmingham.
Belgium.
Okay.
Bahamas.
Botswana. Bangladesh. What's that one?
Bangladesh.
Oh, Bangladesh. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well done. Next one. C.
Canada.
Cameroon.
Nice.
Cote d'Ivoire.
China.
Costa Rica.
Congo. Costa Rica. Okay.
Cuba.
Good. Okay. And I'm gonna jump to O.
Oman.
Okay. Yeah. Oman.
No cheating. Don't ask ChatGPT.
Don't use Google. Please, don't use Google, please.
Ontario is a city, isn't it?
Okay, Ontario. Yeah.
Ontario. It's not a country.
No, she said country or city.
I said city. I
Okay.
made it easier on the city.
Oklahoma.
I think, is Oman the only country with the letter O?
I don't
No.
think so. There should be more.
Odemberg.
Orlando. Okay. No, country. Any other countries with O? I think it's only Oman.
No, there are like 3.
3?
Yeah.
What's the other 3?
Odemberg. And also Orange Free State. Orange Free State.
I've never heard of that.
As in a country, Abimbola. Are you just making this up?
Yeah.
It's from Google,
country.
isn't it?
It's a country. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right, guys, well done. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully the ice has all broken and we're ready to move on. Hopefully, I think I've sent the link to the board. So if you can, we're going to do this really quickly. Go on the board and just tell me what you think went well in this sprint, what didn't go well, and improvements. Please, can we not do anything in improvement actions? I will, as a team, we will look at the improvements and then decide on what it is that we are going to do. So I will give us quote unquote 15 minutes, but obviously we're not going to use that time now just for time purposes. So just tell me what went well and what didn't go well and improvements. I would normally play some music, but I'm not even going to chance it with my laptop at the moment because it will freeze. But yeah, let's see. Nice, I can see some points on there. So I'll give you guys, you've got just 5 more minutes left. So let me know what you think went well, what didn't go well. All right, so as you're doing that, thank you. I'm just going to pick a couple on our board and just get people to just give me a summary of what they have shared. So communication is top notch. I agree. That's a good point. Do you want to explain a little bit more on that for me, please? I'm not sure who wrote that one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think we collaborated very well. Yeah. Then we communicated as a team. We know what we are working on, what we are building, what we want to achieve for the sprint, and that helps us to deliver on our mandate for the sprint.
Thank you, Tunji.
Your flash, who's going from your flash?
Oops. I put let's say development work went well. Who wrote that? Let's have some points. Sorry, Laura, somebody's okay, thank you. They've muted them. Development work went well. Who wrote that one?
I did. Yeah, the development work went well between me and Emmanuel, so he was able to finish his development work on time as well as me. So the communication was good. So yeah, that's the highlight of our sprint.
Oh, thank you, Abimbola. And we've got some similar ones here. We've got good team collaboration. We've got excellent collaboration. So I'm just, as we're doing this, I'm just going to put these together on our group tab that are similar. And just quickly, we're going to go on to our what didn't go well. So someone said exceeding meeting time box. Who wrote that? If you could explain, please.
Yeah, that was me. So I remember the last meeting we had.
Hello.
It took so much time. We exceeded.
Hello.
Yes, I carry on, Rita, it's not me.
Yeah, so we kind of exceeded the meeting time. So
Okay,
yeah.
so making sure we take time box. All right, thank you, Rita. Meeting clashes with development work. Who was that, please?
Yes, Emmanuel did that. So
Yeah.
so that's it. That's me. Due to the fact that I'm still a newbie, still learning from my boss. So I've got some other meetings that are clashing with my work, which is affecting my capacity. So if that can be, sorted, would be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, so hopefully if anyone has any improvements, anyone didn't get a chance to suggest any improvements, or if you want to quickly just unmute yourself and tell me some improvements and I can put it on there for you. Okay, we got one. PO needs more clarity from stakeholder. Okay, excellent. That's a good one. Any other improvements? Okay, so just really quickly, just because of our time, I've just gone into the vote section. So you can see I've grouped the similar ones together, and same with the what didn't go well. Normally we'll have maybe a few improvements. Can we just vote on one improvement that we want to move on to our next sprints, and that we make that as one of our priorities of something that we're going to focus on? Okay, thank you guys. So I can see that most of us are choosing or really want to have a look at ensuring that our meetings are time boxed. So definitely this is something that I will take upon our next sprint to make sure that we are keeping to our time. So I'll hold that as accountability for that and time box our meetings. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. Anything else anyone wants to add? I believe we are done. I will sign that to myself as responsible to make sure that we keep the time. Are we all good, guys? You guys
Yes.
hear me? All right, amazing. Thank you, guys. Well done for the hard work this sprint, and we go again next week, Monday, for our sprint planning for our new sprint. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Get home
Thank you,
safe.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Over to you,
Right.
Olabisi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So this one too is very direct. You saw what they did. This is now the refinement. They started with chill. I was even a bit jealous. You see, this refinement used to pay me. Stakeholders don't join. So I cannot join. If not, why wouldn't I be able to even lie that I know Orange County or something, But what can I do? So stakeholders don't join the call. It will just be the PO and the team. They will just speak and share their mind as to what happened within the sprint. They don't need to talk about what happened 10 sprints ago within the sprint. So you see how they really enjoyed themselves at the start to do an icebreaker. Some teams will go further and play some other games and all that, but this was good enough. We just wanted to show you how it goes, and everybody participated. It's not like you'll be forcing people to speak. You see that they were speaking freely. They're not forcing people to speak. So another thing you should have really noted was also when they were ready for the main retro, she timed them. It's a process. So after the games, usually what you need to do is, okay, giving everybody 10 minutes to populate the board, or 15 minutes, depending. For me, I always think 15 minutes is too long. You can just give your team 10 minutes, 5 minutes into the time, 5 minutes more, guys, a minute into the time. You also heard her talking about music. Like me too, when I first joined my team, I used to try to play music for them, but you say, no, we can't think when music is on. And I'm like, oh my God, but just do what your team likes, right? So you can play very subtle music for them for that 10 minutes while they're trying to populate the board and all that. And then when they finish populating the board, you saw that she now started reading through each of the tasks. It's not like she just picked them randomly. No, she started one after the other and asked for explanations, because you can never understand people. Someone might put communication and somebody else puts communication, and they mean two different things. Somebody can be saying the communication was a bit slow, and towards the end of the sprint, the communication was good. But later, somebody can assume that communication was bad all through. Yes, you say, okay, maybe they would have put it in what went well or what didn't go well. But it depends. Some people, they can just put anything they want, right? That they are feeling, but you cannot understand people. They might use the same words. So it's always good to explain. Now, some people might want to keep it anonymous. Remember, I told you about anonymity when it comes to retrospective. But if you build a very cool team that are self-developing, it takes a while to get to that stage. But after a while, everybody will be open to be able to express themselves. You saw Emmanuel that was even talking about clash meetings that were affecting his capacity in the team. So it was very open. That's transparency. Remember the pillars of SCRUM, that's transparent. That's why I said all these things, you actually have to know them to be able to put a clear understanding to what you want to do. See me bring this pillar of SCRUM to what they just did now. So that's how it is. So she asked for explanation, and then she went through all the tickets one after the other. Then when she finished, the ones that are similar, she grouped them. The reason for that is so that you don't have so much junk on your board, right? If three people say communication, you want to leave it standalone, especially if you've asked them and they mean the same thing. You can group them together, which was what she did. Then after that, they did a bit of voting just to vote on the things they want to carry over as improvement. Some teams can say they want to do voting on all. Some she just requested for, one or two major ones that they want to carry over. And after that, she assigned it to herself. That action plan they're going to do, she assigned it to herself. Please note that because she's an SM, it's not why she assigned it. She only assigned it because she felt she has the technical skills to be able to action that during the course of the next sprint, because it's about time boxing. And in your heart of hearts, who do you think really should watch out for time box? So that's why the Scrum Master just looked at, okay. But funny enough, it's not compulsory. The Scrum Master can still action that to somebody else. But it should be a thing of choice that the team member will pick or decide, or we just have a way of working to say, okay, let's rotate it. So it's not even about deciding who alone. If A takes it today, B is going to take it tomorrow, C is going to take it the next time, still like that. So it just depends on whatever you agree on your ways of working within the team, which is all what they showcase. So this is the whole ceremony. You see that it's not hard. All what we were saying yesterday, this is the translation of it. But it might still be half, I'm sure it will not be like Greek anymore. There's a bit of, clarity to exactly all what they took out their time to come give us today. But by the time you lay your hands on it, starting this week, next week, like that, you start having, in fact, you just be having that wow moment that, this was what they meant, this was what, you will still be asking questions that, is it this, is it this, is it this? But by the time you do it, we have lovely mentors and bodies that you meet during the course of this, your internship, that will take you through everything you need to know as regards all this. Feel free to utilize them, feel free to ask them questions. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's it for my voiceover. I'm happy for you to shoot your questions to them. There's no silly questions as usual, but if you just feel that it's something, you know what, just ask the question. The reason I'm just looking, I really want us to work within time today because we really overexceeded time yesterday and we don't want that to be perpetual. So thank you really. Before I hand over back to you, I've done so to ask the questions to all the mentors and bodies. Apologies about my background noise. Before I hand over back to Damisola, I would like to say thank you very much. All these people, we dragged them out of their own busy schedule to come help us here tonight to deliver this, which was very fantastic. It was lovely to see the collaboration within the questions. Thank you. All right, over to you, Damisola, please. And let's really watch out for time. Thank you.
Hi, Malawumi. Thank you. So we will be going first to Adaeze, who had a question and has been patiently waiting. So Adaeze, are you there to ask your question now?
Hello.
Hi, Ajayi.
Yeah, are you talking? Did you mention my name, please?
Oh no, I mentioned Adaeze, but if you'd
Okay,
like to
cool.
ask it, but you can go on. I don't think she is available at the moment, so you can ask your question.
Adetunde is a senior mentor. When you said Adaeze, it sounded like Adetunde.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. No, Adaeze, or anybody else.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my question is on that voting. Yeah, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the numbers there. Yeah. Tunji chose 5. He said because automation is more complex Yeah. So that 5 he chose. Is it that because it's more complex, yeah, that particular sprint duration will be extended? So how does that 5 help? Is it the ticket or sprint? I don't know what's the right word to use.
Okay, good question. Yeah, why the reason I choose 5 is, you know, I said the logic behind that user story and the acceptance criteria. We have a text feed within the page that I'm going to test. So one is saying maximum of 1,000 words. So for me to test, that 5 effort is my effort testing it in real scenario at workplace. That 5 is not even up to 7 days for work. And I use Fibonacci series at work. So 5 is still a small ticket for the effort that I chose for it. It's still small. 3, if it is 3, if I choose 3, because at work we don't use 1. We start from 3, 5. But normally the theory behind it is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Then the biggest, the Olawumi said at our organization, they cap it at 20. My organization will cap it at 21. When we point towards 21, that shows we're going to split the story. So that shows 2 QAs will work on it to test. So for me, choosing 5 is still a small ticket. It's a small size story. And what I mean by logic is, for automation, I will look at the lower boundary for that feed and the upper boundary, so that using that boundary, I will be able to know the area where error lies within the story. Do you get me?
Sorry, I didn't really get it, because I'm still like, that 5, you said is efforts. How that 5, how does it come in, since it's not gonna help in the extension, yeah, because you said the 5 is even small.
5 is small.
Normal business is supposed to be.
If you choose 5, it's still days.
So how would it help? What the job someone is doing, the work someone.
Okay, let me explain to you this way. On the sprint board, we had task there that you will write test cases. You will design your test cases. After you design your test cases, before you even design your test cases, you're going to write your test plan. So for your test plan, you have your test cases number. Then
I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry. Olawumi and Bola, they have their hands up. I think they would like to add to the discussion. Olawumi, would you like to go first?
I'm happy for Bola to go first. It's fine, as long as they all drive on. I want the people that participated to actually speak. Since Bola's hands are up too, so if I need to add something, then I'll add. Bola, please.
That's fine. They haven't had the training on estimation yet, have they?
They haven't.
Okay, so that's when it's going to become clearer. At the moment, it might seem a little bit like jargon, but there are a few things that will determine, like Adetunde has mentioned, that would determine what number you would estimate in terms of you could say complexity of a story. So like Adetunde mentioned, if it requires automation, there's more effort required. So then you might put it as a higher number, but in comparison to the scale, it will seem a little bit like jargon now. It's still quite small. So it not only includes the effort, it includes the complexity and also your experience. So as a new QA, or a new as a new QA or a new developer, you might err on a course of on caution. Like you see Emmanuel, for something Abimbola thought was easy, like I've done this all the time, like I know this at the back of my hand. Whereas Emmanuel is new to him, so he erred on the cautious side and gave it as a bit of a higher estimation to consider the fact that he's not as experienced, might be a little bit more complex, and he hasn't done something like this before. But I promise you, when you have that training on estimation, it will become clearer as to what the numbers mean and how. So again, if I relate it to the sprint, if I have lots of stories that are really high in terms of estimation, I wouldn't necessarily put 5 stories within that sprint, because it's going to take them longer to work on. As a Scrum Master, I know, okay, these work are more complex, more issues, therefore it's going to take longer for the team to develop. So I would put less of those stories that have a high estimation in that sprint. I don't know if that's helped.
Thank you so much for that, Bola and Tunji. You know, just to drive home the point, remember I explained when I was doing the voiceover that estimation is the effort it takes you to complete a particular task within the sprint, right? So that effort, it comprises of your expertise or your experience, your technical know-how, your risk, uncertainty about the project, complexities, and even a bit of time elements, right? So that complexity is what Olatunji is trying to drive home for you. Now, if you tell me, if we go back to our house yesterday, remember our house that we are building? I just want to take it home for. If you tell me to take a paintbrush and just paint a portion of the house, just a small portion, I pick a paintbrush, I paint it, pam, 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 because I'm a painter. So I understand, I paint it, I've left. That's very manual for me to do. Now, however, if somebody tells me that they want a type of scripting that is like a 3D, I know what to do, but it will take me more effort because I need to bring in a machine, I need to bring in a bit of POP, I need to bring whatever machine I'll use for my 3D to give the effect. Then we start. That same portion that somebody has painted has even gone. But if you tell me to do it in, the automation way of doing things, I'll bring in a machine, then I'll scrape that wall. I'll first clean the wall, scrape the wall a bit, make sure it's ready for, what I want to do, put in the POP, smoothing it, wait for it to dry up, come back again, put in my 3D machine or whatever I want to do to create what I know what to do, but it's just that the job you've given me now is a bit more complex. That's all that Olatunji was I don't know why I keep saying Olatunji. That's what Adetunji and Bola are trying to explain to you. What determined him putting 5 instead of a 3 is because he has looked at this particular story is not just a manual testing. It requires automation. And for you to do automation, you might need to write a code or anything you need to do. You might need to write test cases. You might need to do your test plan, depending, test strategy, depends on exactly what you want to do anyways, before you pick what you need to do on it. So it's a bit more complex than the manual side of things. So you see that showcase we did now, you remember that they were reviewing what they've done. Now, if you tell a tester to just test, all the tester needs to do is to probably go to the banner and see that, okay, there's picture there. Okay, let me use something we can use a bit of automation for. Maybe the sign in now. They can just go check manually. Am I able to sign in? Yes. Bam, bam, they are done with the manual. So manual is easier to do, but they will test it and it works. But if you tell them to do automation for that same thing, they won't do it that way. They'll first see, write a code, do this one, do that one, then throw it in, see if it takes it, come back, it's a bit more work. So he has said that story requires not only manual, but automation. So if he was doing only manual, he might pick 1 or 2. But because he has considered that he will do a bit of automation in it, and the story is also a bit complex, so he decided that his effort will be more on the scale of Fibonacci, which he now picked 5 for. I don't know if it drives home the point a bit for you, Adesi. But if
okay, so it's all about the effort, not like
it's all about the effort.
Okay, not like maybe the time to do the job will be extended or something. Just the effort.
They are still working
Just
with a 2-week sprint. The effort. That's why I said I will not talk about effort and time together because it will confuse you. Effort has to do with let me use a very local, the energy to take you to do something, the power
Okay.
it takes you to do. So that energy you want to use to do it, okay, I'm going to do manual, I'm going to do automation. Is it complex? Is it a very simple manual test? Is it a very simple automation? Is it? So all those things were running in Adetunji's head when he saw that story. Because as an expert, he knows what and what to do on it, right? That's another thing about Agile. It gives you that leverage to make your own decisions with your own technical skills. Okay, what does it take me to deliver this within this 2-week sprint? So he has run that in his head during the refinement and during the sprint planning for him to get to that point to decide that I want to estimate this at 5. You understand? So that's the whole thing they've explained. I hope it's a bit clearer. Like I said, when you start doing it, you feel it more. But I hope it helps you a bit, Adesi.
Yeah, a little bit.
Thank you. Don't worry. By the time you do it a couple of times, you get to understand it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Tunji and everybody that spoke that helped. Thank you.
Thank you, Olawumi, Bola, and Adetunji for answering the question. Is there anybody else who has any question for us this evening? Just a reminder, no question is a silly question, so please feel free to ask any questions. There are lots of experienced people on the call this evening that would be able to give you an answer, or at least point you in the right direction. So please feel free to ask your questions.
Okay, Dami, if you don't mind, I just want to answer a couple of the questions on the board. Like, I think
Okay.
question that will be part of the planning meeting. The answer is yes. The only reason they're a bit quiet is because they've done their own job a bit by translating what the team should be working on. So they'll be a bit quiet, but if questions come up or they feel that whatever the team is doing is not seeming very clear or in line of their thoughts, right, they can chip in. So yes, the PO is part of that planning process, right? Okay, then which other question? What's the criteria for the vote? That's what we've explained a bit. It depends on your efforts to do something. That's when you decide what to vote. And then we pick the average vote. And then you explain sometimes, it's not every time you need to explain, but sometimes you need to explain why you made decisions of picking that. And usually, for example, if everybody picks 2, 1, 3, and somebody else comes and tells you 8 or 13, you need to question to know why the person is picking that. And usually it's always more about technicality or maybe expertise or, anything technical side of things is what makes that difference comes in. So you need to ask reasons why they are doing that. Then you find the average of that and put it. You see that it automatically even averages out. By the time you play with it a bit, you'll be able to understand what they mean. Okay. I hope that helps you, Adewale. Then please kindly wait until the role play. Okay, no, we've spoken about this earlier. All right. I think those are the questions that was also in there. So any other person with a question? Damsola, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Olawumi. I think another question in here. Okay, we've answered the question about voting. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, we've answered the question about the criteria for voting. Whilst I scroll down, let me see if there's anything else. I think there's one last question. Please, where in the sprint or project would the analyst be relevant?
Okay, we get this a lot. You guys, okay, you need to understand that an SOC most times might not work most times you don't work in the Agile team, right? In the Scrum team, not Agile team now, in the Scrum team. Because remember, the people in the Scrum team are the developers, the product owner, and the Scrum Master, right? They're the people in the team. However, there are some people that work around them, and it also depends on the particular project. There might be a project that we need a SOC analyst to be in there. We'll invite you. There might be a project we need an engineer. We'll invite you. There might be a project we need a designer. We'll invite you. So sometimes we might bring in, some other external guys to join the Scrum team just for maybe a particular project or something. But for SOC, you guys will be having a different standalone projects that you'll be working on. Don't worry, you are going to be very sorted. cybersecurity, just put hands on your chest and calm down. But you're not going to be part of the Scrum team. But however, we'll put you within the team so that you see what everyone is doing across the team and also learn from it, so that when you get to your own organization, all these things will not be strange for you. That's why we take you, apologies about my background noise, that's why we take you through all this, but you will have your separate projects and things that you'll be working on, so don't worry too much about that. But ideally, you're not part of the Scrum team. Same as the data analyst, you're not part of the Scrum team. But however, you will be doing some things for the team, especially even in BlueSky, and even outside of BlueSky, there are some projects that will require data analysts and they need to bring you into that project. So your roles are usually standalone roles because you're not ideally part of a Scrum team, but you can work in the Agile space. So see the word I'm using. Remember, Agile is that methodology and there are frameworks under the Agile, which is Scrum. So you can work under that bigger umbrella, but you might not work in the Scrum team because ideally your role is not within the Scrum team. I hope that helps answer that question. Thank you. Adewale, are you good? Okay, great. Thank you. I've seen your response. Adewale is probably not able to speak where he is. Okay, so we have 5 minutes to the end of the call. We're happy for you to wrap up, Damisola. Thank you once again to all my honorable mentors that were able to join this call tonight. Thank you so much, Uzo. Thank you so much, Bola. Thank you so much, JK. Thank you, Abimbola. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Rita. And thank you, Adetunji. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Back to you, Dami.
Thanks for allowing me, and thank you, everyone. Just like Olawumi said, thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. And yes, I'm happy to draw this to a close. See you guys again tomorrow. Yes, and be ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow promises to be an exciting session as well, and a very informative session as well. So that's it from me, and that's it from everyone. So good night, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You all.
Thank you so much. Good night.
See you later.